us with advice on healthy living is nutritionist and wellness coach eNCA Moloi. A very good morning to you, eNCA. I mean, never has it been more crucial to try and implement healthy living. What is the message behind Healthy Living Awareness Day?
Good morning, and thank you for having me on your show this morning. The message really is prevention is better than cure. Cure and health is wealth. Now more than ever before, we need to understand that we need to have a healthy workforce. We need to have healthy communities. And we also need to invest in health promotion programs, only not at the level of government, corporates, businesses, and even within our communities.
eNCA, I mean, never has it been more important to put our focus on health and wellness. What are some of the risk behaviors that we can avoid?
In the main, lifestyles that would include the food that we eat. On a daily basis, our shelves in the supermarkets are flooded with processed foods that we don't have a choice but just to pick everything because they look very attractive, especially for the kids. They actually make them very attractive. That is one. Number two, we are very inactive as a society. We have moved from the times when we used to do a lot of physical activity because we wake up, we get in the shower, we get in the bath, we go to work, we sit on the desk, we come back, we get in the car, we sit on the couch, we go to bed. So we're very inactive, and that is making us very, 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 very susceptible to being sick. But the other thing which is making us very vulnerable is the use of alcohol and the use of tobacco. We need to intensify this program because we're only writing on the packets of cigarettes, but we're not really going down, really educating people what really will happen to you when you continue to, have excess, you continue to abuse alcohol, you continue to smoke, especially your respiratory system, how it can be affected.
eNCA, something very concerning is the fact that South Africa tops the list, of unhealthiest countries. What is the cost of being an unhealthy nation?
I think we are more modernized, and we are probably becoming more industrialized. Our shores are open, so we've got a lot of important, processed stuff coming into our country. But for that, the mere fact that we are also more modernized, our kids, we used to walk to school, if you remember, a bit, and now even a child who must go to 500 meters away from home, we still drop them to school. We are more, the climate change is also very much affecting us. And there are a lot of determinants, but more than anything, it's the lifestyle that we live as South African we can afford. And I always say that our affordability should not send us to the grave, because the more you can afford, the more you don't need you don't see a point of planting vegetables in your garden, because you can get vegetables. And some of the vegetables that we buy, they're also genetically modified. So it's not everything that you find in the counter that is healthy. So, but because we can grab whatever that we want, but also the issue of inequality, we also need to address it, because most of our people in South Africa, because of poverty, they end up having to buy a lot of, let's say, for example, a lot of processed, cheap stuff for their lunchbox for kids. If you find a cheap polony, you just pick it up, and the more it's cheap, the more it's highly processed, the more it has a lot of saturated fats in it. So we just want to get cheaper, and sometimes cheaper is very, very, very much unhealthy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that insight into healthy living. That was nutritionist and wellness coach eNCA Moloi.